Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Please hit the subscribe button and give this episode a thumbs up. Sukanya, the person who runs the Sister Wives Tell-All show, went on the Sarah Fraser show to tell us more stuff about the Brown family. Some of it is about how close she is with them and also about Kody Brown getting along with his kids. She also talked about why the Brown family won't do group interviews together anymore, which could help fix a lot of their problems. Keep reading to see what she said. The first part of the tell-all had Kody getting ready to go to Sedona with Robyn to do one-on-one interviews. But the Sister Wives star remembered back when they used to film tell-alls all together before she left. Kody said it was such a great time and that all they did during the group interviews was stick up for each other and protect each other. But everything has changed now because they are trying to show each other's bad stuff. Robyn was also sad because she wasn't excited for the tell-all. She even said she'd rather get a root canal than do the interviews. When Suki was on Sarah Fraser's podcast, she was asked about why the Brown family doesn't do group interviews together like they used to. Suki says it makes sense that they don't get along anymore, and bringing them together for a group interview would only make things worse. Suki even suggested group interviews to Kody, Robyn, Janelle, and Meri, and they all wanted to have one-on-one interviews instead. They're not really ready yet, but Suki thinks Christine is up for it, especially since she has completely moved on from Kody. Still, Suki added that Sister Wives Season 19's tell-all will show why they are where they are now. Suki also talked about Kody Brown's relationship with some of his older kids during the same episode. Kody has been getting in trouble for pushing away his older kids from his ex-wives. Michael T. even said that things haven't been the same between him and his older children, especially since Garrison died. But Suki said that it's actually the other way around now. According to Suki, the Sister Wives star is now working on his relationships with his kids, adding that he's doing his best to find a place where he can see his boys as men and his daughters as women and trying to fix things with them. Suki said that some of the kids have shut their doors, but there are others who still welcome Kody. Sister Wives. Kody Brown hits Janelle below, belt Sister Wives, Season 19. Tell-all is getting to Part 3, and things are already getting crazy. The one-on-one interviews showed Kody Brown being so upset about the mean things he's getting for liking Robyn. It even got to a point where the tell-all host Sukanya Krishnan called out Kody for not taking blame for his unfair closeness with Robyn. But it seems Kody is not done with his shocking accusations as he now goes after Janelle in TLC's latest preview for Tell-All Part 3. Keep reading to see the footage. Sister Wives. Janelle Brown shows frustration with Kody. The second half of the tell-all had Janelle making surprising statements about Robyn and Kody. The Sister Wives star thinks Robyn is not the only one who should be blamed for the family's breakdown, but she said that it doesn't make Robyn innocent. Janelle went on to say that it takes two. She then said that Kody has made himself the bad guy to take all the blame instead of Robyn. According to Janelle, she has not seen Kody act the way he did since people began to point fingers at Robyn. Kody hits Janelle below the belt TLC recently put out a new clip from the upcoming Part 3 of Sister Wives Tell-All. The clip has Kody making a loud statement about how money and Essex are now on the table. He then said that Janelle had too much control over her money. Kody's words came when Suki asked questions about the Coyote Pass. Kody added that he never gave many details about the property to Janelle since he doesn't trust her with it. But Janelle said in the preview that Kody has attacked all his wives, who are leaving in the place that hurts them the most. There was also a point where Christine said that Essex was never a problem before, closing her eyes in amazement that Kody is now bringing up such things. David Woolley also joined in saying that he can give what Christine has always needed. Sister Wives Meri Brown calls out Christine. The latest preview also shows Meri Brown being so upset at how David Woolley is at the tell-all with Christine. The Sister Wives star questioned why Christine was talking to her husband about her ex. Many fans also commented on Meri's statements. Some felt that Meri has a point, but others think David has no bad reasons for being in the tell-all. David seems To be the type of man who will let his wife know nicely when he's heard enough about Kody. "Where's your boyfriend Meri? I get Meri's point, but I guess Christine gets paid for it. That's why she keeps talking about Kody. She's talking to her husband about her ex because she's on a TV show that pays her to talk about her ex to her husband. I guess she wouldn't give him a second thought otherwise." When the host of the Sister Wives Tell-All sat down with Sarah Fraser on her podcast, she opened up in a rare and close chat. With years of close chats and behind-the-scenes talks under her belt, the interviewer gave a very personal look into the life of the Brown family. What came out was a picture much more complicated than what is shown on camera. A family broken, growing apart, and slowly dealing with the results of choices made in the name of faith, love, and personal truth. Old memories and a change in how things work as the recent season played out. The tell-all began with the dad getting ready for a DA visit to Sedona. He wasn't alone. His buddy was the last remaining wife who still stands with him on the journey. He thought about a time that now feels like a long time ago when all members of the household used to take part in group interviews for the tell-all programs. Back then, the setting was simple: a shared couch, shared memories, and shared loyalty. The chats flowed with laughter, protecting each other, and working together to keep a united front. Those days, however, have long disappeared. Now the air is thicker with unsolved pain and lasting anger. According to the dad, the warm unity of those gatherings has changed into events where hard facts are told and each couple looks to stand on their own side of the fight. The emotional pain is clear. His remaining wife clearly carried the burden of being separated rather than excitement. She stated worry. Her statements were filled with tiredness and weakness. She said that she'd rather feel physical pain over going through the emotional discomfort of the tell-all format again. Her honest comparison was telling. This wasn't just embarrassing, it was emotionally painful. Why group conversations no longer happened during the podcast, the interviewer revealed that she had in fact brought up the idea of returning to the original group discussion style. The proposal, while bringing back memories, was met with quiet but solid resistance. She had spoken to each person individually: the dad, his devoted wife, and the former wives who had now gone different ways. Each said no, not from anger or even fear, but from a place of emotional unreadiness. The bonds that once held them together have come apart too much to be easily put back together again. The interviewer said that just one of the former wives might be emotionally ready to face the group again. She has emotionally moved on, built a life full of joy and freedom, and no longer holds on to past grudges. The host stated that forcing a group appearance now would be pointless. There would be no shared laughing, no protecting each other. Instead, it might turn into blame, fighting, and reopening wounds not yet healed. The interviewer made it clear that the goal of the tell-all was not to make trouble, but to bring clarity and healing, which is best done through real, close communication. Bonds between parent and child, a complicated situation during her opens. Talk with Sarah Fraser, the host touched on a particularly difficult subject: the connection between the dad and his older children. In recent years, supporters have pointed out the tension and emotional splits that seem to distance him from his children, especially those from his earlier marriages. Public opinion has painted a picture of abandonment and being separated. One of his children even openly said that her bond with her father had changed, especially following a recent tragedy that greatly shook the family. Fans thought the father had separated himself, closing off emotionally and failing to give the presence his older children needed. However, the interviewer gave a different opinion. According to her, the father is not distancing himself, but trying a quiet comeback. She added that he is working hard, however awkwardly, to rebuild bridges with his children. He no longer sees them as just kids. He realizes their grown-up personalities and the complicated emotions they carry. He wants to honor their paths, their complaints, and their worth as fully formed people. The host also talked about the truth that not all the kids are ready for making up. Some have built fences to protect their peace. Others, however, still leave their doors open, still hope for understanding, and sometimes give flashes of warmth toward their father. Broken family, individual stories. This season, more than any before, shows how much the family has grown apart. Once united by shared ideas and community living, each member now follows their own rhythm. The mother figures who once tried the same path are now developing different identities, jobs, and personal goals. The interviewer pointed out that these ladies in particular are more than ex-wives. They are visionaries. They have started businesses, grown new connections, and found power in taking back their voices. They don't look back with regret, but rather see the past as a stepping stone toward a more fulfilling life. Meanwhile, the remaining wife often appears trapped between loyalty and loneliness. Her long alliance with her husband is viewed with doubt, even pity, by outsiders. Yet within that bond, she finds her understanding of truth and purpose, even if it separates her from others. Closeness behind the cameras, having spent a lot of time with the family off-screen, the tell-all host explained how different things look when the cameras aren't rolling. The public might see awkward tension or dramatic fights, but behind the scenes, there are times of deep thought. The dad often thinks about his past actions, sometimes showing regret, and other times trying to understand why things went wrong. The host also spoke about the former wives and how their healing paths were different. One finds comfort in spiritual research, another in business, and yet another in building a new romantic bond. The kids, too, are creating their own chapters. Some openly distancing themselves from the chaos, others still dealing with their identities in the shadow of a once public family unit. Where things stand now, as season 19 plays out, the tell-all promises to be one of the most revealing yet. Each individual chat will show a new layer, from the sadness of being left to the victory of rediscovering, from emotional separation to times of real weakness. These interviews will show not simply what has happened, but how each person is dealing with the emotional mess. The interviewer closed her podcast appearance by saying that the time for united storytelling may have passed, but that doesn't mean these stories aren't worth telling. In fact, it's in the individual stories that true growth is found. No longer tied together by obligation or tradition, each member now speaks from a point of independence. As the lens of the Tell-All series continues to zoom in on the unraveling story of the Brown family, the emotional intensity and personal divisions among its members grow more clear than ever. In the most recent episodes, viewers watch conflicts not simply based in old wounds, but in fresh and painful truths being exposed for the world to see. With growing tensions, honest admissions, and touching observations, the third part of this extraordinary reunion lays bare the raw and unedited chapters of a once unified family now broken into separate storylines. Janelle's heartbreak and the echoes of betrayal. As the lights dimmed for another round of the deep interviews, Janelle sat with a firm look. She came up about the slow and constant collapse of the common hope that previously led her into a plural marriage. Her voice carried a weight it hadn't before, tired, forceful, yet filled with sadness. When speaking about the breakdown of the family's togetherness, she didn't point fingers at just one person. It was never just one person's fault, Janelle said, her tone firm. It takes two people to either build something beautiful or tear it down. While she accepted that Robyn became a big player in the story of separation, she made it clear that Kody himself had changed into a role that was almost self-sabotaging. The more fingers were pointed at Robyn, the more Kody seemed to shelter her, even if it meant taking all the blame himself. But what surprised many wasn't only her thinking about the past, but the hint that Kody almost tried to play the villain to shelter Robyn from criticism. A blow that cut deep, just when viewers thought the emotional strain had reached its limit. A fresh clip from the next episode sent shockwaves through the fan base. Kody, already under fire for his seeming favoritism and distance, unleashed a surprise verbal attack not against critics or outsiders, but at Janelle. During his one-on-one with the tell-all host, Kody's face hardened as he steered the conversation to topics long considered forbidden in the family's public talks: closeness and financial control. "This isn't about love anymore," Kody stated, in a tone as sharp as it was cold. "It's about control. Control over money and control over affection." Then came the statement that many saw as a direct blow below the belt. Kody accused Janelle of having too much authority over her finances, presenting her independence as a danger rather than a strength. His statements formed a picture of mistrust, hinting that he kept information about the joint property, particularly the problematic area known as Coyote Pass, because he didn't trust her judgment. The accusation surprised not only Janelle, but others who had previously backed her financial independence. For many years, Janelle had been the family's financial rock, someone who worked constantly to contribute and support their joint dreams. The hint that she could not be trusted was a reversal from all viewers thought they knew: Christine and the unspoken truths. The emotional weight didn't stop with Janelle. Christine, who had already removed herself physically and emotionally from the family unit, sat opposite her new boyfriend, who has increasingly become a quiet observer in this unfolding family drama. Christine responded to Kody's statements with a mixture of confusion and silent anger. "We never made closeness the measuring stick for connection," she added with her eyes closed for a time, as if gathering the strength to continue. "To bring it up now after everything feels dishonest." Her new husband agreed seriously, later explaining in a separate film that all Christine had ever needed was respect, consistency, and the type of emotional connection that was never truly available in her previous marriage. Meri's frustration bubbles to the surface. While emotions simmered in some corners of the tell-all, they boiled over in others. Meri, who has often portrayed herself as reserved and quietly thoughtful, finally reached a tipping point. She directed her anger not at her former husband, but at Christine, and more specifically at the presence of Christine's new friend. "Why are we even doing this if your partner is going to sit through it all?" Meri questioned, her voice shaking not from fear, but from annoyance. "Why is it okay to bring him here just to talk about your ex-husband?" Her feeling created a firestorm of replies. While some expressed her unease, others were quick to support Christine. Many thought that having a husband present might be a source of strength and healing, especially in emotionally hard interactions. Viewers react, a divided audience. The emotional aftershocks of this newest tell-all are not limited to the Brown family. Fans across social media platforms have been weighing in heavily, offering a range of interpretations and judgments. One user commented, "Her new man seems like the kind of person who would lovingly tell her when she said enough about the past. He's calm, supportive. Where's Meri's support system?" Another person chimed in, "I get why Meri's upset. It must be difficult to sit there alone while someone else is held by the hand through every hard moment." Still another commented, "Let's be real. Christine's getting paid to revisit her past. It's not like she's bringing it up over dinner. This is work." The intersection between pain and performance, at the center of all this emotional turbulence, lies a challenging question. Where does personal truth end and theatrical story begin? Each wife, each ex-husband, and even the new partners are dealing with difficult landscapes of memory, anger, and public scrutiny. Janelle's confrontation with Kody's remarks is more than simply a personal attack. It's a sign of a broader break, one where trust and unity have fallen apart under the weight of unequal affection, financial mistrust, and inconsistent communication. Her strength in the face of accusations reveals a woman who, while hurt, is unwilling to shrink from her truth. Christine's story shows the delicate balance between healing and story. Her choice to involve her new partner isn't just about companionship. It's a declaration of how far she's come from emotional emptiness to emotional fulfillment. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Get more updates daily. See you soon.